Hello everybody, Big Planes here. Now before I dive too deep into this video on the Emirates A380, I would like to give a shout out to my patrons over on Patreon. Thank you to everybody over on Patreon who helps to support the channel. You guys are one of the main reasons why I'm actually able to build these planes. So yeah, thank you to everybody on Patreon. I know I haven't been making too many videos in the last month or so. There's a few different reasons for that. So you guys haven't been getting sort of the shout outs you deserve. But yeah, thank you to everybody over on Patreon. And if you want to go help support the channel over on Patreon, I will leave a link in the description below. So yeah, so it's been a somewhat quiet month for the last month or so, and there's a couple different reasons for that. I've been sort of in the process of building a new computer and also trying to track down parts for this Goliath, and at the same time, I sort of have a lot of other things to work on at this too. And I have another Lego project I'm going to be sharing with you. Just a sneak peek over there. So, A380, that's what this video is all about, and let's talk about it. So, a lot of you guys are going to be really excited for this progress update because I extended the wings. I'm all the way out to almost the outer wings past the flaps, the outer flaps on each wing. And I know a lot of you guys have been like, why haven't you gotten past the main wing section? Oh, well, I finally have, and I've made some pretty good progress too. I've hooked up all the flaps and everything's working nice and fine. So I'm going to show those to you in a minute here. But first I'm going to talk about sort of what the plan is going forward. So hopefully in the next update, I can have the outer wings done. These will extend out a little bit further, about that much more on each side, and I can fully sort of clean up the bottom here. So just a little bit of a disclaimer before I start talking too much about this is that this is not done out here. This camera's not focusing. This is not done out here. See, this looks very rough. Obviously, this is not done. I sort of stopped right here when it came to cleaning this up. This right here, this is sort of what it'll look clean like this. But I just haven't extended that out yet here. So once I get all the flaps and spoilers working, I will clean this up. I will sort of get rid of this gap, and this will look all nice and beautiful. So that's sort of what's going on there. So yeah, I know a lot of you guys actually want to see the flaps working. I don't remember if I showed them to you in another video or not, but I'm going to show them to you now. So I have my phone out here, and I'm using the Lego Powered Up app. It's the new sort of power functions replacement, and this is the first time I'm using it, so it's sort of a bit of an experiment. I'm using both the Powered Up and Power Functions. That's the battery reservoir, if you will. So I'm using both, and I'm using Powered Up to control the flaps because I want to be able to control the speed and duration of the flaps. So I have the app out, and all I really have to do here is press a button. So I'm going to back up here so you can actually see the plane. Back up a little further. There we go. Make sure you can actually focus on it. Yeah, there we go. Up the exposure. All right, so the way the flaps work is that I just press one button and they go. So here goes. So yeah, they work pretty reliably actually. Right now, the only control surfaces that are really hooked up are the flaps. I have not hooked up the spoilers yet on the outer wings. That's why you can see straight through them. And the main reason for that is I just want to get the flaps working right now, and then once the flaps are working nicely, I will attach the spoilers. You can see that the spoiler is attached for the inner wing. I just have not put them on for the outer wing yet. So that's what's going on there. This is really cool because it's like basically just one giant flap that runs along the trailing edge, and I think it's really cool actually. This is the first time I've ever made motorized flaps, and it's worked out pretty well. I've spent the last few weeks trying to get that to actually work because something always goes wrong or something doesn't line up, or and it's one thing just to get them to work, it's another thing to get them to work reliably. So I want this to be, I just press a button and the flaps go down. I don't want to have it to be where one of the flaps goes only halfway down or one of them doesn't even deploy, I just don't want that. So that's one of the other reasons why this thing has taken so long, is because I'm dealing with trying to get the flaps to work. That's something that none of these other airplanes have. Air Force One doesn't have it, none of them. This is the only one that has this amount of complexity in the wing, let alone it being a 7-foot wingspan. So that's the main reason this thing has taken so long. I get a lot of people who are probably a little frustrated with the slow progress, but it will be well worth it in the end because this thing is going to be really, really, really cool. So yeah. Also, I was going to talk about the landing gear here a little. You can see that the doors are in pretty much here. I still need to install the inner door right here. Again, the camera is not focusing. There we go. I need to install the inner door right here to go next to it. I just didn't have the parts for that, and the parts came in, so I need to install that, and obviously I need to finish up doing some blending up here. And again, sorry about the lighting. I'm trying to take a video of a large airplane in front of a window, so obviously it's trying to focus with the light behind it, and the front of this plane is sort of underexposed. So I'm going to be trying to battle with the camera during this video, but yeah, that's what's going on with the landing gear. And the landing gear appears to be able to hold the weight so far. It's just the proper weight distribution is able to, if it's done properly, you can hold the whole plane up pretty easily. So that's one of those things where you just have to be always watching it and make sure it doesn't collapse. Also, the wing box, from what I tell, is able to hold this plane up. I flipped it over with both these wing sections attached, and I haven't heard any creaking whatsoever, and it stays pretty rigid. So I'm not too concerned about the wing box, and yeah, I'm pretty happy about that. Also, a lot of you might be wondering what these giant holes are for out here on the wings. These will not be overly visible because there will be a pylon right here for one of the engines, the inboard engine, and this cable right here, that's where this cable is running to. This one is running to the inner engine. These two cables will connect and provide power to the outboard engine. This cable will connect in here and provide power to the navigation lights on the tips of the wings. And then obviously this cable is routed to come through to the outboard engine. This is right where the outboard engine pylon will go. So that's what we got going on there. It's pretty good so far. You can see here that I have the battery reservoir panel removed right now. This usually goes right here and covers this all up, so you won't see that. But you can see that we have two power functions IR receivers, two power functions battery packs, and the one in the middle is the Lego powered up battery pack. So that's all I really have for this video. A lot of great progress. Hopefully in the next video, again, I need to focus the camera. Hopefully in the next video, I can get the outer wings done and this whole wing can be done, and we can start working on the engines and maybe even the fuselage, because the fuselage is where this one gets fun, because all the fun interior and the giant, I think it's what, 22 studs wide width of this thing. It's massive, so that's where the fun really begins. But we have to get this wing out of the way, because you can't have an airplane without a wing, obviously. So yeah, that's all I really have for this one. Hopefully expect an update soon. I will make a video on the small thing I showed you at the beginning of this video for those of you who are curious. And yeah, expect more progress on this very soon. That's all I really have for this video. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And that's it for now. Bye for now.